Hey, I'm Shiki.
And I'm Shiv.
Welcome to Unit the Podcast, the show that takes you on a journey into our long-term relationship and teaches you a thing or two. Unit, because it's you and I in it.
Hey guys, welcome to Unit the Podcast. My name is Shiv.
I'm Shiki.
We are on episode 5 now. Yeah. And for today's episode, we are going to talk about something that has come a lot in questions and comments, in DMs, and something I think we also would like to talk about on this podcast, it being a long-term relationship podcast with kids. I think that's part of what we have been wanting to talk about. And here it is, parenting. Topic of the day, parenting. And we are just going to talk that, we're not experts. Let me first say we are not experts.
And we just have 7 years experience.
Yeah, and we just have 7 years experience. So we obviously are just going to touch a little bit of different parts and aspects of the topic. But we definitely would love to go in depth in maybe particular areas of this, because we know this now expands and goes out a lot more.
Yeah.
So we'd eventually we love to do that, but for now we'll just start off by talking about our parenting styles.
Yes. And we went on the internet to find out what different parenting styles there are, and we'll take you through them. Yeah, because based on what we have seen, we can see where we'd place ourselves.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just start by definitions. Yeah, we found how many? We found 6 different parenting styles, and English.
Struggling.
For those of you who are not sure about it, it's not parents, it's parents. I remember this very well because this is something I remember from primary school.
From primary.
From primary school, where we were like in serious, we were in trouble, and someone said my parents and kept saying it, and I think the teacher just lost it and she's like, it's parents for the last time. And that's just stuck since then.
Yeah, it's also August and not August.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to say August.
It's also avocado and not avocado.
That's one I still confuse, man. It is what?
It's avo, not ovo.
Yeah, it's avo.
Avocado, not avocado.
Yeah, but then again, as long as you understand what the other person is saying, then really that's what really matters.
No. That's not at all what matters.
What really matters, that you actually communicated.
And then even your child, your firstborn, that's what there's so many times she'll say something wrong and she's like, but me, I say it that way. It doesn't make it right because I say it that way.
True.
Yeah.
True. Okay, so parenting styles. First one we found is authoritative parenting. This style of parenting is characterized by high levels of warmth, support, and reasonable levels of control and discipline. Authoritative parents set clear expectations and rules, but also encourage independence and open communication.
Okay.
Yeah. Should we just go through all of them first and then come down to what we feel like,
where we feel we place ourselves?
Yeah. So the first one was authoritative. The second one is authoritarian. Yeah. So this style of parenting, authoritarian parenting, this style of parenting is characterized by high levels of control, strict rules, and low levels of warmth and support. Authoritarian parents often use punishment and rewards to enforce compliance and expect obedience from their children. I think that speaks for itself, like an authoritarian rule, basically, kind of rule. Third one we found is permissive parenting. This style of parenting is characterized by high levels of warmth and support, but low levels of control and discipline. Permissive parents often avoid confrontation and allow their children to make their own decisions. Okay, kind of the opposite of authoritarian.
Yeah.
Then neglectful parenting.
Sure.
Wondering whether that would be a parenting style, like you're intentionally neglect.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess it's how you would describe how someone is parenting.
Yes. Not that they have sat and said, I'm going to be
Yeah. So neglectful parenting. Well,
Okay.
Okay, let's not go there. This style of parenting, where we just know someone neglecting, and they know they're neglecting, and so it's a style. So neglectful parenting. This style of parenting is characterized by low levels of control, warmth, and support. Neglectful parents may be uninvolved or neglectful in their child's life, leading to feelings of abandonment and neglect in their children. Helicopter parenting. This style of parenting is characterized by high levels of control and involvement in their child's life. Helicopter parents often hover over the children, constantly monitoring and intervening in their lives, which can lead to feelings of anxiety and dependence in their children. Okay?
Yeah.
Then sixth one and final one that we found, free-range parenting. This style of parenting is characterized by giving children a high level of freedom and independence to explore the world on their own. Free-range parents encourage their children to take risks and make their own decisions, but also set clear boundaries and expectations for behavior.
Okay, so they let you kind of run free, but they're not neglectful.
Yeah.
So it's controlled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like free range.
Like hippie type of living, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You'd say you put it at
That's
two.
Yeah, that's how it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then there was like a disclaimer. Each parenting style can have both positive and negative effects on a child's development, and the most effective style depends on the individual needs and personalities of each child.
Okay.
Yeah. So no one's saying one's correct, one's wrong. We're not here to do that. We're not here to judge anyone's parenting style. We're just here to talk about our parenting style. Yeah.
Where would we place ourselves?
Yeah. Where would you place yourself? Where would I place myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do we think we are?
I think I sit very nicely in authoritative, not authoritarian. Authoritative, I think, had high levels of...
That's high levels of warmth, support, and reasonable levels of control and discipline.
Okay.
So high levels of warmth, support, but reasonable levels of control and discipline. Authoritative parents set clear expectations and rules, but also encourage independence and open communication.
Okay. Authoritative, a very small slice of authoritarian.
Yeah.
At the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd place you there too. Because of authoritarian, because of
Authoritarian because of
authoritative, because of
authoritative because of the warmth and support.
Yeah.
I think they said reasonable levels of
control
and discipline.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm pretty reasonable. They are not super strict.
Mm-hmm. So why authoritarian?
Authoritarian, just read for me the end of authoritarian.
So low levels of warmth support. Authoritarian parents often use punishment and rewards to enforce compliance and expect obedience.
Okay, yeah, that area. That word. Punishment sounds like a very harsh word, but basically there are consequences.
Yeah.
Okay? So punishment does not have to mean going to smack the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there will...
Quiet time is punishment.
Yeah.
Well, not quiet time, but like...
We take away...
Corner is...
Yeah.
Punishment.
Taking away stuff or not being allowed to do stuff that you love as a consequence of your actions.
Yeah.
And then also another reason why authoritarian there at the end is because of this thing of reward system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that. I think I'm a bit of these three. I think I'm also part authoritative. Not because of the high levels of warmth. Well,
I think you have high levels of warmth and support.
Yes, warmth and support. I really
made Shazi a flashcard for her.
Yeah, her first speech.
For her first speech in school, in school assembly.
School assembly. So Shazi had this speech that she had to do. and she had to say the first line in Kiswahili.
She's
which
not
was-
too good.
was not too good with Kiswahili, partly just because we just generally don't speak Kiswahili, although we both can.
Yeah.
And she was just really freaked out at just that first line. Like, she had a line in Swahili, a paragraph in English, which she knew properly off head, and then finish with Swahili. So those two parts were just causing her some serious anxiety. So I made her flashcards to like read and teach her how to use flashcards when reading and doing a speech. Like, you look at it, then you talk. If you need to refer back to it, then you do. So okay.
That sounds like high levels of warmth.
High levels of support. Reasonable levels of control and discipline. Okay, reasonable. I think I'm reasonable. Authoritarian. Why do I see myself here? High levels of control, strict rules. No, also because of the use of punishment and rewards.
Yeah.
To enforce compliance and expect obedience. For sure, I use rewards and
I think we did it a lot, especially with Shazi, our firstborn, with Candy.
Yeah,
now they just run free.
now they more or less run free with it, and now it's more of just moderation. That's just what we preach with them.
Yeah.
Shazi never
Before.
so sweets or had any kind of candy for the longest time in her life.
And when she started to have sweets,
Yeah.
it was always as a reward.
Yeah,
It was always as a reward. And it was a reward for small things that, yes, she should be doing anyway. Finish your food. Okay, you can have. You know.
yeah.
But it was never, it's 11 a.m. and I want a sweet. That didn't fly.
That didn't fly.
Yeah.
She wasn't even allowed to have sweets, like, and sleepovers
Yeah.
and junk food and candy. But it was also I think partly because of where I was in my life, and just I was like a strict bodybuilder, no junk food, no nothing. I was like 6 to 8% body fat, and
man.
so everyone in the house kind of
Everyone had to suffer.
suffered because of that.
Yeah. And I don't have a sweet tooth.
Yeah,
So
you
it
don't
was-
have a sweet tooth, so you
was
weren't
okay.
buying or eating sweets. anyway.
Exactly. So it was very easy to make sure that she doesn't
Yeah,
have some of these things.
Yeah.
She didn't even drink juice until she was, I think, maybe.
even soda. She didn't know what soda was till she was like 5 or 6.
She tasted it at her shoot.
Yeah.
It was not from, like, by the time I saw what was happening,
Yeah.
her eyes were already tearing from the sweet gas.
Yeah, she
loved
had
it.
no idea what soda is for the longest time. Yeah, Shiloh knows more of these things.
Yeah, because she has an older sister
Yeah,
how to negotiate for this.
yeah. And Shazi also makes sure Shiloh is keeping in line in terms of moderation. So I mean, it works out for us at the end of the day.
It's all good. It's all
All good. And yes, so I think I'm also partly free-range parenting. I mean, I'm more of, well, not high level of freedom and independence, but I encourage them to explore the world and experience it, knowing, as long as they're not dangerously doing something, let them do it. Like, if I know they'll fall, or I don't know they'll fall, but if they may fall, and we know they're not going to break an arm because of dropping from a certain height, I'm like, go ahead and do it, Go ahead and explore. We've already told you what can happen, and there's also another side that we don't know what might happen, and you might succeed, so let's just see. Because I'm also curious, when you do that, I also want to know what will happen when you're doing something that I know Chico doesn't like to look at it and won't want to look at it.
So sometimes I'll even leave.
Yeah.
I'd just rather not be there, because otherwise then I'll mess with your free ranging, because I can't.
Yeah, you can't.
Especially with the falling and the exploring and
like just swimming in dirt and just jumping into random water and stepping into. I don't mind it. I'm just like, you know what? Let them explore and figure it out and see what comes out at the other side.
But I really do. When I think about it, like I would love to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just not.
It's all different.
Yeah.
All different.
That's true.
So I sort of expected that everyone's the same and will have the same perspective on things.
And I'm glad that they have they have that in their lives, like they have you in their lives, so that I don't just keep them in a safe little bubble. Acha wajue maisha.
Yeah, also I'll just say, that they have you to go to for all the consolation and hugs that they need.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't like refuse, but it's I have more tough love than any. I have more
cuddle the shit out of them, especially when they're physically hurt. And we've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Physical hurt me just really takes a toll on me.
Yeah, for me more
You said more emotional.
That's when I feel, but when it's physical, like
dust it off.
Yeah. like you'll be okay. Like you just need some time and you will heal. Like, okay, sorry, but don't come to me again with it's really
That's our 2-year-olds. That's how our 2-year-old.
Like I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear it again. You'll be fine. Let's move on.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of thing. So
okay. Balance. All right. So now that we know our parenting styles, maybe we can talk a bit about some of the things that we feel are important for us to apply as parents, or are important to us as parents for our kids. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. For me, when I sit and think about the things I feel are important for our children to know from me as a parent, I think it's, first of all, very important for them to feel loved.
Okay, see.
Okay. See where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
It's important for them to feel loved unconditionally. Like, even if they did something wrong, and knock on wood, I'm not even going to voice such thing. Yeah. Anyway, if they did something wrong, I would like them to know that they can come to us and we'll figure this shit out together.
Yeah.
Okay. So that they feel loved, that they feel safe. And that's because, or more so because we are raising girls.
Yeah.
I don't have any experience raising boys. I perhaps I would feel the same way even if I had a boy. Like, I would still want them to feel safe.
Yeah.
But I say more so because we're raising girls, because you know how the world is.
Yeah. Let's just be realistic about it.
Yeah.
Not like
it's I mean, I don't feel safe a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel loved, and okay, those are the two I can think of, right? I can jump in.
Yeah. So for me, at first I think I'd like them to feel like they can come to me with anything.
Yeah.
And I always try to prepare myself for this so that when they come, I don't react in a way that may make them not come again.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly, it's always about like, okay, I have to be prepared. As much as I'm trying to be as open as possible,
yeah.
I have to be prepared to react in a way that won't make them feel like they can't come again. And I've done it once or twice, so nowadays I think I catch myself a lot quicker. Yeah, and I just try to give myself that moment to think, slow down, look at the situation differently, and just hear them out. Especially for Shazi, who I feel like she's now 7 and it's different levels of now communication with her, which I'm realizing as we go on. I have to start communicating with her different. Like the questions she asks.
Okay.
And how she looks at me and responds to not even my verbal cues, but my non-verbal cues.
Oh, she looks for them. She looks for reactions.
All your reactions.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing I have to be a lot more. Yeah, I can't just be like on my phone or still. I have to literally now be like, take time to stop and look her in the eye and talk to her and listen. And sometimes just listen and be like, okay. And then continue. Like otherwise I'm immediately given some energy or, some attitude. And I'm like, when did that happen? Before it was like, just tell you something and you believe it or you don't. When they're younger, sorry to say, but sometimes you just lie to them sometimes. But small.
Yeah.
Or just easier to
or top line
manipulate them psychologically. Yeah.
You just give top line answers.
Top
There's
line
not much else to. But now there's so many more whys.
Yeah, and explanations are required, and sometimes you don't feel like explaining, and you just don't want to, but you realize, you immediately catch yourself, and you're like, I actually have to explain why this is, because how will she know?
Yeah.
She's asking because she wants to know. How will she know? And I know another question is coming, but I have to just be ready to take the time. And if maybe I'm working, then I'll be like, okay, can we talk about this another time? Because I really have to finish this. Then we go back to it.
Yeah.
So there's that. Other one is for them to see just to see me passionate about what I'm doing and to see me succeed. And hopefully they get motivation and inspiration from seeing me achieve the things I set out to achieve.
Great.
Yeah, so it gives them the same fire, and to know it's possible and it can be done. Yeah, it's not far-fetched, like it's all the way that side. It's here, it can be done, just set your mind to it. And yeah, so I guess that's motivation also to really hit my targets when I set targets and goals.
And I like that, because there's, and also, not to be afraid of hard work. For example, recently I was having a conversation with Shazi. Shazi is our 7-year-old. And we're talking about the activities that they offer in school and which activity she wants to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know what she picked, and she was like, because that one seems easy. Oh, we're talking about instruments.
Yeah.
And she was like, asked her, so if you were to pick an instrument to do, which one would it be? She's like, maybe piano, because it seems a bit easier. I was like, sis, I will tell you right here and now, I'm not paying for an activity that you have picked because it seems like the easiest one.
Yeah.
That's, and she said that a few times. So, just like, they also need to know that things can be hard, and something being hard doesn't mean that that's not the thing that you should do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe the thing you love.
Exactly.
It's the one that's hard, but hard, I prefer to use the word challenging. It's a challenge, and if you really love this thing, then you have to be willing to take up the challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to, and after that she was like, okay, well, it's not because it's easy. She tried to backtrack, but what I was trying to say is that some of the things will be difficult.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you should not do it. And in the same breath also, I think one of the things that I think we like to encourage is also not giving up on something because it's hard.
Yeah. And I mean, I'd say she's book smart.
Yeah.
I mean, from so far, she does really well in school. And so it's also, I think, difficult for us to understand why she'd be like, yeah, that's hard. But when we see her papers doing really well, I don't know, for me, when I used to say something was hard, I was getting zeros, kind of thing.
Okay. So I guess that maybe
her hard, and then she gets 2 wrong out of so many, and I'm like,
or when she's doing homework and stuff, and she's given up on something, and she'll give up and she'll cry.
Yeah.
Just keep trying. Then she gets it, and you're just like, just need to keep trying.
Yeah. So it's teaching that patience also.
Yes. And I love that you said also this living by example, motivating based on what you're also doing.
Yeah.
Something random that I've been thinking over the past couple of months is just in the line of work that we have. First of all, I think I've also mentioned here, I don't know, maybe Shazi kind of understands what it is we do.
Yeah.
Online, because she's been part of our campaigns. But something I would like to do just in the course of this year, or whenever an opportunity presents itself, is to go for a work event with her, just for her to see how they go, where it is that we go when we say we're going for event.
Yeah.
It's just take your daughter to work day
Yeah.
of thing. I've gone to the office with her once or twice before. So I'd like to do also this one with her.
Yeah, I've gone to the gym with her. Like, she knows I'm a coach, but yeah, for our social media side of
Yeah, because she's constantly asking.
has questions that hard to explain. So if she could just experience it, and she already shows interest. I mean, she's interested in. She's picking up cameras. She's taking videos of herself, of everyone in the house. She's taking pictures. She's interested in editing when one of us is editing. Just
Like she would sit there with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's to show her a little bit more of this side of the work.
Yeah. Okay. So let's touch on discipline.
Okay.
Yeah. How do we go about it? How do we go about disciplining our kids? This is another question that comes up.
It comes up a lot. Yes.
So how do we go about with discipline?
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that's the question.
Yeah. I think with both the girls, our main form of discipline in their young years is naughty corner.
Yeah. Naughty corner it is.
It is naughty corner. Yes, I have smacked them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Yeah.
smacking on the bum when they're younger. They've not been subjected to cause or anything else. They've not been hit with anything else
Yeah.
aside from the palm.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, is an escalation from you're not listening to words.
Yeah. You're not
The-
listening and you're still like shouting in my face. And I'm also not in the best place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, first ones just go through a lot more of this than the second ones do, and I wouldn't say I'm proud of it, but also it's like I regret anything. It's just what it was. It's what I knew. It's what we knew, and since then we've grown to be a lot more patient and a lot more control over our emotions.
Yeah.
Especially in the spark of the moment, we are a lot more calm and willing to, pass across a message in a different way. Less shouting. Shazzy, we shouted a bit more, spanked a bit more, stopped very early, but
But naughty corner is the one that was a constant.
That was a constant.
Yeah, and the shocking thing about naughty corner for me was that they stay there.
They stay in naughty corner.
I think
Like they're stuck there. It's like there's a gate they can't leave. I guess they respect it at some point. Yeah.
no, it's crazy. It was truly a shocking thing for me because I think when we started trying it out with Shazi, it was just kind of a thing for let's just try this thing out and see.
Yeah.
And then we put her in a corner somewhere. She sat and she didn't leave until we came for her. I was like, what sorcery is this? What parenting sorcery is this?
Yeah.
So we just kept it going. And then I think as she got older and we can't naughty corner her, we started to take away privileges that she enjoys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on the
Magnitude.
Yes.
And it could range from taking away candy, taking away her devices, to not being allowed to go out and play with her friends.
Yeah, like a small grounding.
Like a small grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now what I realize about grounding, especially as she's older, and because we work from home, ground her and she's your problem.
She's just your problem.
She's in your
so unless she's
business.
like in her room.
Yes, she would need
for a number of hours.
Exactly. With no devices.
Yeah.
Although also, her bedroom is her playroom as well.
Yeah. All her toys are there, her books. But
which is fine.
For me, it's more of her just being by herself thinking about
what she's done.
Whether she thinks about it or not. But just also we need some time to get back to center,
To simmer down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those are the main ways that we do it,
With Shiloh, it's just been mainly naughty corner.
Mainly naughty corner.
And she knows when it's coming, and so she's like...
Yeah, she fights it a lot more. And for her, that sticking power of naughty corner sometimes does not stick.
Yeah.
She'll just wander back to the sitting room quietly. And you're just like...
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There is like how much am I willing to fight this also? Because
Yeah.
what she did is like it's not that big a deal. But
It's really not. You're trying to make a point.
just trying to make a point.
And so that she doesn't do it again and again and again. I also, especially for Shiloh, and I also did it with Shazi. Counting to three. Counting to three worked with Shazi.
Yeah.
She never knew what happens at 3.
Yeah.
She never waited to find out what happens at
Yeah.
3. So there would be the counting and she'll do it. Shiloh, her younger sister,
Yeah.
bro, you're gonna count till 55.
Counting.
Just keep counting. She don't give a fuck.
Counting fam.
Yeah. But for her, I tell her I'll finish her. She doesn't know what that means,
Yeah.
but it sounds threatening.
It's threatening.
Yeah.
But she's also very, sometimes I feel manipulative. Like when she's doing something wrong, then she goes like, "You'll take me to Naughty Corner."
Yeah, she preempts.
Like she preempts, yeah, like, "You'll finish me, yeah." It's just like, "Yes, I'll finish you." Then it's just like a joke from then on. You're like, "Oh my goodness."
Point not taken.
Yeah, point not taken, and she can't take it seriously right now.
And all this to say, first we've been the hand we've been dealt. We have 2 very different girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of these things that we're talking about that we're applying to the kids, we can't apply them exactly the same way from one child to the other, because, like we've mentioned, they're responsive to different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of have to pivot and keep changing things depending on which child you're dealing with. Yeah, it's not one size fits all with all of them.
Yeah. And
there's a dog too. The dog's the easiest, you know.
For you, yeah. The rest of us, he doesn't listen to us as well
Yeah.
as he listens to you.
Bit hard-headed.
Yeah. But it actually shocks me. It shocks me when I remember and he responds and I'm like, I think he kind of respects me.
He does. You just have to be very intentional with him.
Yeah. No, I'm just a little less brave when you're not around, because I'm just like, just in case. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure whether I'm skirting a bad line. Yeah, but I always report.
Yeah, if he's disrespectful.
If he's disrespectful, I tell on him to his dad.
Knows he's not supposed to be disrespectful to you.
Yeah, he gets into trouble.
Gets into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, with him, it's isolation. He's a pack animal, so he doesn't like being alone. If I literally isolate him. And those of you who would come after me for saying this, come after me. It's fine, but don't come after me if you haven't raised a male Rottweiler who is still intact. Then your opinion does not matter. So to say, if you have experience and you've done it, tell me your ways. But this is how I know it works.
And it works. We have a well-balanced dog that can be around the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big guy can be around the kids.
Yeah. And I mean, they're good kids, you know. They know their bedtime, they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they know when it's time to do something. We don't really fight them over things they know they're supposed to do, like eating, going to bed, showering, brushing their teeth. If anything, they enjoy doing most of those things.
Yeah.
And they do them because they know it's time to do them. It's time to go for a walk, it's time to do this. So it's just random, maybe just like a disrespectful
kids be kids
statement that it's like, you know.
And we're very big on scheduling.
Yeah.
We're big on how a certain thing is done.
Yeah.
So just like Shiv said, for example, if it's bedtime, it's bedtime. We have a set bedtime every day. We could push it, could give them an extra 20 minutes if we're feeling like it, or an extra 30 minutes, but generally bedtime.
Friday or Saturday.
Exactly. Generally bedtime is bedtime. How bedtime is done is how bedtime is done.
Yeah.
Morning routine is morning routine. How it's done is how it's done.
Every single day. So
the rules are the rules.
Rules are the rules.
Yeah.
If they also know and what to expect and what's coming, then there's no need to fight it, because this is what's expected. This is what we do every day. It's part of the schedule. It's part of the routine.
Do you think that there are things that we disagree on, or do you think that there are things that we disagree on when it comes to parenting styles? Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Mention it in should just talk about this in an episode. Talk about this. No, it was at the beginning of the episode. Oh my goodness.
Oh my days. He's an old guy.
It would be stuff like the free range aspect of parenting versus, not letting them do some things. Like if you go somewhere, it's just like, and they want to jump in the water and they want to, like, they're not going to harm themselves. But you just feel some way about it.
I'm a bit more resistant to, especially spur of the moment things, which is crazy because if you have children, everything spur of the moment. But for me, it's just it's a bit more difficult.
Yeah. So I think in that instance, if it's like it's not unsafe, then we'd give each other space.
Yeah.
In that sense, and just trust that the other person can handle whatever comes with it.
Exactly. Yeah, because if you choose to do something that I'm super comfortable with, but it's not a kind of discomfort such that I'm like, you can't do this with my kids. Because when I'm upset, they're my kids. They're not our kids. Yeah. So it's kind of just like, you do your thing, but just don't ask for much input from me because I'm not comfortable with this thing.
Yeah.
And I think also sometimes if I feel like you've been a bit hard on them, I usually let you know, especially when it comes to Shazi, our firstborn.
Yeah.
Because she's a lot more emotional. Sometimes I feel like, a certain reaction might trigger her a little bit. Or
that's true.
She may need that. Yeah. But you apologize to them.
Yeah.
Apologize them quite a bit.
Yeah, I find myself actively catching myself also and apologizing to Shazi a lot more nowadays.
Yeah.
Before I never used to it. Maybe I just never knew how hard it was on her and how emotional she is. But now I know she's very, very empathetic and shows her words with action.
Words affect her.
Words really affect her. Yeah. So just having to now put things differently. Like now I kind of feel like I have to speak to her how I speak to you. Because the same words could affect you a lot more. And you see with Shiloh, it's different, honestly. She just thinks it's a joke almost all the time. Or if it's not a joke, like she just doesn't take it like that, Yeah. She'd fight you, just be like, you shut up, what are you saying? Basically, she kind of gives off that energy. Yeah. And Shaz is just, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And so I have to be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. So it's not always easy.
Oh my God.
I also feel some way about it. But going back and, because that's how I feel and that's how I felt at the moment. And in the world, you'll encounter different people and sometimes people will do this, but do they need that from me? Then I start to think about that. Do they need to see that from me?
Yeah.
Is that the energy we want to give off in the house so that they go looking for the other positive, better energy outside?
Yeah. Oh my days. Yeah.
Is that constant thought and reminder?
Okay. Yeah. So maybe it's just to let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just to let them know. Hey, the other day I had to dish out one of those apologies. Let me tell you, it even gets stuck in your throat.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm sorry, Man, but she was so gracious about it. She was like, Mama, it's okay. I forgive you. I was like, Yeah. That's better parenting.
To forgive if she doesn't see it.
Yes. I honestly firmly believe that you should be able to apologize to your kids.
Yeah.
If the fuck up is on your end.
Yeah.
Yeah, just raw safi. If you're the one who messed up, you're the one who messed up. Yeah. And I think it's also good for them to see that their parents are flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make mistakes as well. Their teachers make mistakes. By the kids under the age of 7 do not think that their teachers make any mistake.
Perfect, fam.
I think they're perfect. Their parents can make mistakes.
Yeah.
Not their teachers. God.
So teachers apologize too.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not always 100% correct. We know.
Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up for us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
We appreciate your work.
we really do. Really do.
Yeah.
I think one of the struggles, allow me to digress, one of the struggles with school is also there's information that your kids are fed that you may not subscribe to. And I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
One of the schools Shazi has been in, remember when she wanted to do taekwondo?
Yeah.
And the teacher was discouraging us from letting her do taekwondo.
Yeah.
Because she was the only girl in her class who wanted to do taekwondo. So they're kind of like, maybe she should try ballet.
Yeah, that did not sit right.
Sit well.
That's not cool.
No.
Yeah.
There are no games for girls and games for boys.
Yeah. If she wants to do taekwondo, let her do taekwondo.
Yeah.
If he wants to do ballet, let him do ballet.
Yeah. Wow.
Just never know, man. And now other beliefs that school puts on your kids.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. To mention in passing, Kenyan school, really, or at least the ones we've experienced, can really push a religious agenda heavily.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day.
Sorry for another day. Not all of us. Yeah. Let's not even start on it now. I think that's a whole topic.
To be said,
That's another requested topic, religion.
Yeah, you all really want to hear about religion.
And how we raise our kids, about our religion, our spirituality, and what we impact on the kids.
Yeah.
That's for another day.
That's a story for another day.
We will tackle it, just not today.
Yeah, and also when we figure out how to tackle it.
Otherwise, we'll talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and
we'll tell you, this is how we feel.
That's how we feel, and that's it.
Maybe we'll just address it as a question one of these days. All right. Do you have any other questions for me?
No.
Anything else you would like us to discuss on parenting?
No.
General parenting?
No. I mean, this was just throwback to you guys. I mean, if you feel like there's something we can expand on more, let us know. If you feel like there's something you want us to talk about a lot more, a lot less, to dive deeper into, if you want us to bring a guest of a certain kind, or maybe like whether it's a parenting.
In parenting,
experts, what are there?
Well, I know a child psychologist.
Yeah.
That would be of value.
Yeah, let us know what kind of guest you'd want us to have for this topic.
For parenting in general.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think that's it from me.
Yeah, I think that's about it. We kind of just wanted to give an overview of the kind of parenting that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'd love to hear what kind of parents you guys are in the comment section. Guys are free range like Shiv. I really think free range would be the least mentioned.
You think so?
Here.
Yeah, actually, true.
In this country.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd see a lot of free range.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still curious to know what kind of parents we have out there, what kind of parents are listening. And another thing I would like to know in the comment section, are you applying the same parenting tactics that your parents applied? Think you're raising your kids the same way you were raised?
I think I'm definitely taking a few things from my parents.
Yeah.
And how they dealt with different situations, because I did learn a lot from how they dealt with me. So yeah, definitely taking a lot from their books.
Yeah.
Not everything, but a lot of it.
Okay. I think the same for me. And just as you were speaking, I've thought of one example of applying more of the way you were raised, and I apply the way I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to home time in the evening,
yeah,
we have a curfew for our older daughter.
Yeah,
she's supposed to be back in the house 6:30 to shower and have her dinner.
Yeah.
Shiv is so strict on that 6:30. Like, a babe rocks up at 6:35 and she's like, phew, at least it's 6:35, and she was like, no, you're late. Now for me, I never had a curfew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had one. Like I kind of just knew around the time I need to be home. It starts to get dark, I'll go home. So I'm kind of the same
Yeah.
for our kids when it comes to that. Like it doesn't stress me out too much when they're out a bit later than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for you, I mean, we know you're a stickler for times.
Yeah. For me, it's just more of, I wouldn't tell you you're on time if you're not on time. If it's 6:35, you're just not on time. I would.
And you guys used to be called to the house at a certain time.
Called to the house. I think it was at 6.
Yeah.
Like every day. So
Okay.
didn't really have a choice.
Okay. So they're lucky when I'm the one who's
Yeah.
in the house.
I'll go look for her if it's 6:35.
Yeah.
I'll go look for her. Because why you out at that time? What are you doing? Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, so let us know, are you applying the same way you were raised?
Yeah.
And I think that's it for the episode.
That's it from us.
From us. Thank you for being here up until this point. If you are yet to subscribe, please feel free to subscribe.
Yeah.
Remember, if you are not in a position to watch the episode, you can also listen to it on podcast platforms. We are on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, or you can find us on Afripods. Actually, you can find us on Afripods. Yeah. Yeah.
African Afripods.
Let's pretend I started with Afripods.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And keep it coming with your questions. I'm sure we'll have yet another episode where we delve into your questions, or we do a little more on audience questions and feedback.
Yeah.
That's it from us today. We shall see you next time.
See you next time.
Sorry.